Hello, I'm Austin, and today I want to talk about the Game Awards. So I would have done this earlier, but I've actually been sick the last couple days, so I just haven't been in the mood to make a video. But I do want to talk about it, and I want to go over some of the nominations. Some of them I'm just not going to have an opinion on. Best Esports Team, I just don't care, I'm sorry. Shout out to all of you, I don't care. There's also games like Games for Impact or Innovation and Accessibility, where I really just don't have an opinion. I'm going to highlight the accessibility ones because I am all for accessibility in games. I just personally don't really require anything, so I just don't think I'm the best person to really have an opinion on them. But with that, let's go ahead and start going through some of the categories. And unfortunately for you, I'm saving Game of the Year for last, so make sure you actually watch the whole video. Do it. Also, subscribe and like, and let me know what you think of the categories down below and the nominations. Let's go ahead and start with Best Game Direction. What even is that? Outstanding Creative Vision and Innovation in Game Direction and Design. Okay. Look, I'm sorry. I don't really want to give anything to Shadow of the Erdtree. Fantastic DLC. Really good, and if you love Elden Ring and haven't played it, what are you doing? Go play it. That said, it's going to Shadow of the Erdtree. FromSoft are the absolute best in game direction and design, and it's not even really close to me. Astrobot is also really good in this, though. Then we got Best Narrative. I don't know what to think. So, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I just haven't played. I'm sorry, I just don't care. Like a Dragon is a game I do really want to play. I never got into the Yakuza series, and not because they're bad games or I don't like them. It's just because there's so many of them, and I feel like left behind. It's really hard for me to get into it, but I really appreciate that series. Metaphor is one of the best JRPGs I've ever played. If you haven't played it, go play it. It is astounding. It's absolutely incredible. I will beat it one day, eventually. I never played Hellblade 2. I really liked the first Hellblade, but I heard such kind of like mixed things on the second, and I just never got around to it. There was just other stuff I was more interested in. But if it's anything like the first one, I think it would belong on this. It's just, I never got around to playing it, so I have no opinion. And then Silent Hill 2 is an interesting one. I think Silent Hill 2, if you saw my video on it, which you should go watch if you haven't, is a really good game. I do think it has a good narrative. Is it the best narrative? No. The one really lacking here, and I understand, it's an indie game, so I guess it doesn't count. 1000X Resist is easily best narrative, and like it's not even close. That's one of the best narratives I've played in a game. I was so hooked and interested all the way through. It has so many interesting ideas. I give it to 1000X Resist, which isn't an option, but that's what I give it to. Of these, I would give it to Metaphor. And we got Best Art Direction. I don't know, isn't this a little too close to design? Shadow of the Erdtree again. Score and music. So I'm not the best judge of this because I don't really care about the music too much. I usually play games with like a podcast on in the background, depending on the game. So Final Fantasy obviously usually has great music, but again, I haven't played that game. Metaphors never stood out to me, I guess. Again, I'm a bad judge of this. I never thought it was bad, but it never like hooked me. Silent Hill 2 does have very good music, but it's also just a weird game for this because it's not a game where I would like listen to its music outside of the game. It's very atmospheric music that really goes with what you're doing in the game a lot more than anything else. Does Stellar Blade have good music? I haven't played it, so I'm not saying it doesn't, but I never heard anybody talk about the music of that game. For me, this comes down to Astrobot. I really loved Astrobot's music. It's one of the only games here that actually absolutely captured my attention when songs started playing, so I give this one to Astrobot. And Best Audio Design. This one I do care about. I don't know about Astrobot here. It's not like its audio design is bad, but it's more creative with like the controller and stuff and less just good audio. Call of Duty, it's fine. Again, haven't played Rebirth. Rebirth is being nominated a lot for a game that I don't care about, and a lot of other people don't care about. Again, if Hellblade 2 is anything like the first, I probably give it to that because that had some incredible audio design. But since I haven't played it, I'm going to give it to Silent Hill 2 because I think horror games should always get best audio design because they always have the best. Best performance, I have no opinion. Innovation and accessibility, this I just wanted to highlight. I don't actually have an opinion on any of these. I'm just not somebody who requires any accessibility in my games, so as long as I turn motion blur off, I'm all good. But I think innovation's really good for video games, and I really want to just highlight what they're saying some of the best are. Again, games for impact, I just don't have an opinion on. I haven't played, like, any of these games. Best ongoing, I do have an opinion on. Destiny 2, that's an interesting one. I actually was an avid fan of Destiny 2. It just gets to the point where it's too hard and weird to keep up with. I don't know what the best weapons are. I don't know how to get the best weapons. I don't know what the best roles are. I don't know anything. Just anything in general. I don't know. So, but Destiny 2 gameplay, phenomenal. Incredible first-person shooting combat. Diablo 4, I just don't care about Diablo. It's fine. I played it a bit, and it's fine. Final Fantasy 14, definitely deserves a list here. Again, I'm not a huge MMO person. Fortnite, yeah, Fortnite's always going to get a nomination. It's Fortnite. But I do give this to Helldivers 2. I think that's one of my favorite co-op shooters ever. It's so good. And best community support, which goes right along with best ongoing, so okay. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3, I guess, sure, that can get a nomination. It's just good. And then you got Final Fantasy 14 again, Fortnite, Helldivers 2, and No Man's Sky. I'm gonna give this to Helldivers 2 because I think they've been very open about their flaws and, like, correcting them going forward. But No Man's Sky always will get some praise here because they've been very good about... Ever since it launched, they've been very good about keeping the game up to date and letting fans know what's going on. Best independent game. Yes, it gets its own category, because sure. Animal Well. I didn't like it. I played it to do a video on it, possibly, but I didn't like it. Again, me not liking something doesn't mean it's a bad game. It just didn't click with me for whatever reason. And then you got Balatro, L'Oreal and the Laser Eyes. I don't know what that is. Neva, I haven't played. And UFO 50, I haven't played, but I do want to play. This easily goes to Balatro of this list, but in actuality, it goes to 1000x Resist, or 1000 times Resist. I think it's, I forget what it's called. That one. Best debut indie game. Okay. Weird that this needs a separate category. But you got Animal Well again, Balatro again, Manor Lords, which I've heard of and I was somewhat interested in, but I've just never played yet. Pacific Drive I have on my list. I have it bought on Steam. It's in my library. I just haven't played it yet. And the Plucky Squire, I love most of Devolver stuff, so I'm sure that one's good, but this, it goes to Balatro. Balatro is close to my game of the year. Best mobile game, Balatro. It's Balatro. I don't care about most mobile games, so it's Balatro. Best VR AR. I actually really do like some VR games. I have a Quest 3, so I play some VR every now and again. I have to be in the right mood for it. Asgard's Wrath 2 is really cool. I haven't played much of these yet. I'm really interested in that Metro one, though. So I'm going to go no opinion, but I just wanted to highlight them because I actually really like VR games. I think they're really cool. Best action game. Action is too broad. Get rid of this category. I hate it. Black Myth Wukong didn't play. Call of Duty's dope, but is it an action game? I guess. Helldivers 2, Stellar Blade, Warhammer. I'll give it to Warhammer because that was actually a really dope game. Best action adventure. Again, sure. Astrobot is a platformer. Is that, we just getting rid of that as a combination now of a, we just getting rid of that as like a genre? We're just calling platformers action and adventure now? Lost Crowns and Metroidvania. We just calling that action adventure now? Silent Hill 2 is horror. Please do not call that action and adventure because that does not set up what it is. Star Wars Outlaws, I haven't played and I don't care. So this is gonna be controversial of I don't care about Star Wars. I watched all of the movies and 2 of them are good. The rest are bad. Most of Star Wars is bad. I just don't care. The Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom, I was actually really interested in. I just haven't played it. I haven't played much on my Switch lately, but I am very interested in that one. I hate all of these for this category in particular, so I guess I'll give it to Astrobot. I don't know. It's weird to call that action and adventure. Best RPG, immediately get Dragon's Dogma 2 off of this. Dragon's Dogma 2 is a fine game, but if you want an action and adventure, it is the most action and adventure-ass game I've ever played. Don't call it an RPG. That's an insult to RPGs. Shadow of the Erdtree is great. I don't care about Rebirth. I just haven't played Infinite Wealth. It's absolutely going to Metaphor because that is a phenomenal game. And it is an RPG. Best Fighting, I don't have much of an opinion on. I'm giving it to Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero, though. For no real reason. I haven't played it. I just really want to play it. Gordo, what is your opinion? What is the best fighting game? He does not wish to make his voice heard. Best Family. Do any of these people have families? I don't know. I'll give it to Astrobot, though, because it's the only one I've played. Best Sim Strategy. This is one of the genres I just can't really get into. You got Age of Mythology Retold, which I know is a very popular series, but I've never played it. Frostpunk 2, I didn't really care for the first one, so I never played 2. I'm not going to try to pronounce that. Path of the Goddess. I don't know, Capcom makes good stuff. Manor Lords I was actually semi-interested in trying, but I haven't yet. I'm dying. Unicorn Overlord is a game I am actually really interested in trying. I have no opinion. I give it to nothing, but maybe Unicorn Overlord. Best Sports Racing. Do you need racing as a separate thing here? Racing is a sport. You can just say Best Sports. But speaking of that, I don't care about racing games. So F1 24 I haven't played. I don't care about soccer, so I didn't play whatever that is, 25. I don't care about tennis, so there goes Topspin. And I don't care about WWE, but I do care about NBA. And I'll be honest, 2K25, from a gameplay perspective, it's actually pretty good. I think it actually is the best 2K we've had yet. I still have issues with all the microtransactions and how much of a pain in the ass it is to make a good character because of them. But purely gameplay, yeah, 2K25 is actually really good and easily wins Best Sports. Best Multiplayer. Black Ops 6, again, I'm not a huge Call of Duty guy, but Black Ops 6 actually is really good. I really like it. Helldivers 2. It's Helldivers 2, we all know that. And then Super Mario Party Jamboree, I haven't played. Mario Party's always really hit or miss with me. Tekken 8, I feel like it's weird to have a best fighting game genre and then put this one in best multiplayer, but that's fine. Warhammer 2, I actually don't care for the multiplayer here. I like the game, but the multiplayer's, whatever. This one's actually really close between Black Ops 6 and Helldivers 2 for me, but I have to give it to Helldivers 2. I really like the new Black Ops. I think it's a really good game, but I'm just more of a co-op guy than a PvP guy. Best Adaptation. Immediately, is Like a Dragon out? Did that release? I didn't know that. Knuckles was bad, wasn't it? I didn't watch it, but nobody liked Knuckles. And Tomb Raider was whatever. This easily comes between Arcane and Fallout, and as much as I love Fallout, Arcane is just on another level. I don't care about League of Legends, but Arcane is a really good show. Most anticipated. You got Death Stranding 2, Ghost of Yotai, Grand Theft Auto 6, Metroid Prime 4, and Monster Hunter Wilds. I would get rid of Ghost of Yotai, personally, because I just don't really care for Ghost of Tsushima. I would actually add Avowed. I'm really excited for Avowed. I think Obsidian makes incredible games. But of my options here, I have to give it to Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm a huge Monster Hunter fan. I think those are fantastic, and I'm really excited for Wilds. And then you got Content Creator of the Year. It's me. It's obviously me. I don't know who these people are. It's me. Best esports game. I'm not an esports guy, but I like Valorant, so I'll give it to that. Best esports athlete. I just want to highlight these people. I don't know who any of them are, but I appreciate them and what they do. Best esports team. I just don't have an opinion on. And now, of course, we're doing Game of the Year. Yeah, you might notice this looks familiar. No, I didn't make a mistake. It is the exact same list as Best Game Direction, in the exact same order. Why? Why are they separate categories then? That just feels wrong. I'm not going to give it to DLC. I'm just not going to do that. As good as Earthtree is, I'm not going to do that. My personal game of the year is 1000X Resist, but that's not an option, so I'm going with Balatro. I have played so much of Balatro. I'm completely addicted, and it is so good. But yeah, that's the whole list of nominees and categories. I hope you enjoyed this video. I wanted to get something out talking about this because I always think it's fun. It's interesting. I like going through and seeing what I have and haven't played of these nominations. Just don't take it so seriously. It really doesn't matter. Most of these are just advertisement for video games. It's fine. It's fine that it is that. That's why you don't get a lot of indies. They're just not the household names. But with that said, make sure you leave a comment below. Let me know what your game of the year is. And thank you so much for watching. Please like and subscribe. Goodbye and have a great day.